Pop Squat, coming at ya. This is a little bit different video. I got an email from somebody yesterday on or about rather one of the videos that I did recently, and I wanted to read it and talk about it because I think a lot of you will probably find it interesting. I have no interest in calling attention to the guy who posted it. I have no attention, no desire to make him feel bad. I don't know if he'll even see this, but I think it's an important thing to talk about just real quick. And I'm going to read what he wrote me. It's funny how you put down older hip hop by calling it cheesy. I'm going to try and read through this without commenting. But it's a lot better and more original than the crap you've been reacting to lately. I unsubscribed from you because you started taking requests from these younger people and they were choosing newer artists, which totally turned your channel around, and I really dislike today's rap. All these cheap beats and stupid auto-tuned songs that you were calling great and fantastic are totally garbage. I've listened to rap since it first came out, and over the years it's gotten so lazy and just horrible. These young kids are growing up listening to non-talented rappers who you'll totally forget about in a few months. It's a shame that the record companies release all this newer garbage to the public. I tried to hang in there with you, but when I noticed a lot of your reactions were Latino rappers, I was done. Nothing against Latino rappers, but these rappers can't rap, and they make computer-generated beats through a program and make horrible music. Even the black rappers of today are mumbling their words and talking about shit that doesn't mean anything to anybody except the younger people. That's why the world is so screwed up and our kids today are illiterate today, good sentence, that they can't spell or pronounce words correctly, and this new generation of rappers are not helping the situation. I like you and I have nothing bad to say about you as a person, but I wish you would have stayed with your original idea and not drifted to the shit rap out today. I wrote him back, but I want to address a few things. If I call something cheesy, that doesn't mean it's bad. Like, I love cheesy movies. I love them. They are fantastic. They are a flavor of entertainment that you can't get other than in a cheesy movie or a cheesy TV show, or like Buckaroo Banzai is a cheesy movie and I love it. Star Wars even is a cheesy movie. I mean, it's a science fiction genre film that blew up far out of proportion to its actual story and what it was. Like, the aliens in there are ridiculous. It's cheesy. There's cheesy aspects to it. So if I look at an old rap song and I say it's cheesy, that's not a bad thing. That's just kind of what it's like. And you go back and you look at things like, I've done like the old rap song Double Dutch Bus, I think it was. Oh my god, I love that song. It is very cheesy. There is a John Wayne rap song. It is incredibly cheesy. But I'm not saying it's bad. But the rest of this email, I thought was really a shitty thing to say. I mean, a bunch of really crappy things to say. And this is exactly, like, the comments that I just read are exactly the sort of thing that when I was a kid, people would talk about, older people would talk about kids these days and blah, 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 and this is what's wrong with the world. And I remember thinking, and I still think this, I never want to be that person. I never want to be the person who thinks kids these days. Because it's bullshit. It's absolute and utter bullshit. There is nothing wrong with kids these days. The kids these days are a result of the culture that we've created. And we have nothing to say about how they have internalized that experience of their life. And we also have nothing to say about the quality of their artistic output. I happen to enjoy listening to new music, finding new things that I would not have found any other way, and trying to understand it. Admittedly, some of the stuff I listen to, personally, I may not like enough to download and keep for myself and listen to over and over, But holy shit, have I found a ton of music that I think is absolutely incredibly creative, inventive, original, interesting, fun, cool, at every possible word meaning awesome that you could come up with. And to just dismiss all of it out of hand as shitty, cheap, non-talented, lazy, horrible, whatever else he said here is, I mean, frankly, stupid. It's a closed-minded, ridiculous attitude to have, to go through life and regard the creative output of anyone or large groups like, say, Latinos as being crap is stupid. I mean, I'm not even going to go into the racist part of it because of, and I never wanted to be that person. And I get a lot of feedback from people who watch this channel who say it's so great to see somebody who's older. God, I hate being called older. Somebody who's older listening to the music of today's youth and trying to understand it and engaging with it and trying to wrap their brain around it. And I just find that fantastic that's one of the things that you all like about this channel and about me and what I do here. And this is exactly why, because this is the stuff I heard when I was younger that I thought, what a stupid fucking thing to say. What an absolutely dumbass attitude to have. What a ridiculous way to go through life. And I just wanted to say, if you agree with what I'm saying, try to hold on to that idea for the rest of your life, because it will serve you well, and you will have a better relationship with people who are younger than you, older than you. You will have a better relationship with your kids, because you will actually try to understand what it is that they and their art and their music are trying to say, and that's all I'm doing here. So, it's just a quick video. I don't want anybody to dogpile on this guy. I don't. But I wanted to say something because this encapsulated perfectly who I never ever want to be. And I've said this before, I'm 53 years old. 53! Sorry, that's now old enough that people probably don't get it. I'm 50 years old. But I have friends who have started saying things like, kids these days, about this, that, or the other thing. And it personally drives me absolutely crazy, because it just shows how your brain at some point just stops. It just turns off. And you stop adapting, and you stop learning new things and trying to understand new things. And if I can help anybody to hold on to the feeling of, I want to continue to learn, and I want to continue to understand, and I want to continue to try and engage throughout the course of my life, not just when stuff appeals to me, then I will have done something worthwhile, honestly, with my life. We have this thing about humans, we as humans have this thing where we find things that we love when we're younger, and we think that's the pinnacle of achievement, and nothing could ever be better. But really, what we do is combine the, I'll say, music of, in my case, the 80s, with all of the positive feelings that we have, all the nostalgia that we have for that time period. Our brains necessarily and actually forget the negative stuff. They forget the terrible stuff. They forget those feelings. Only our positive feelings remain when we look back at things and we think it was fantastic and wonderful, and it wasn't. It was just like today, except for all the fascists in America today. And if you can remember that no, things were shitty even when you were younger, and things are pretty much the same now. It's different. I mean, it's hard to say same and different, but, or, everything being the same, but it's not as good as you remember it being in the past, ever. And just try to remember that. Your art, your music that you think is the best, is probably someone else's least favorite. And that's just how it is. Art is art. It is completely subjective. And the people who identify with a piece of artwork identify with it for a reason that you probably can't understand, but that doesn't make it less valuable to them. Because there are people today who are listening to music who in 20, 30, 40 years are going to say, the music today sucks. Well, it doesn't suck. It's just different, and you haven't changed. You are still the same person. You have stagnated. You have become the thing you hated when you were a kid. And I don't ever want to be that. So, there you go. That's my little public service announcement for today. And that email just really got to me. And I thought about it as I was going to bed last night, and it really, really bothered me. So I just wanted to say something. And I don't want to hear anybody rip on the guy who said this. I know there's a ton of issues with what he wrote. I'm not going to post the content of what he sent me. I read it out loud. If somebody wants to transcribe it, they can. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to talk about it and say, if you have an issue with the music of today, then you're not going to like this channel, because I listen to music from the 1970s up through literally today. And if you don't like that, you're not going to like it here. Find something you do like. I have no problem with that. Like I have said, I do this just for fun. And if it stops being fun, I'll stop doing it. That's about it. Such a disappointing email. It's really bugs me. That's all. Pop Squat. Chicken. Please like, subscribe, share. I really do appreciate everybody and their great comments, their support on Patreon, the money you send in with suggestions for songs. It helps me out. My day job honestly sucks. I want a new job. It's ridiculous. I am bored and underutilized, and it annoys me. So doing this immediately cheers me up to come and listen to music and just react and talk about whatever comes to mind when I hear it. So anyway, thank you. I'll be back with some more music. Bye-bye.